And on the piano, Mr. Spike Edney.
Benvenuti qui su Queen Fans Italia Worldwide. Questa sera abbiamo un ospite molto molto importante. Sono accompagnato da Alessandro Lue, che è un mio amico e giornalista. Ciao Alessandro.
Ciao, grazie, ciao.
Abbiamo qui con noi il grandissimo Spike Edney. Ciao Spike. Ciao. Hello Spike.
Hey everybody, hello. Hello.
È un grande piacere per noi, cioè veramente un onore per noi averti qui.
No, it's a very pleasure. It's an honor for us to have you here.
Oh, it's a joy for me to be here. So
Grazie.
let's get going. Fire away. Fire away.
Ok, allora
Hai spedito.
ti facciamo qualche domanda, Spike, ok? Allora, la prima domanda, hai festeggiato i 30 anni della SAS Band. È emozionante stare sul palco con tanti amici artisti. E qual è la forza della SAS Band?
So, Spike, we went in Guildford last night, the other night, and there was an amazing concert. And thank you for the beauty of your music. Now, so
Great.
what to feel about to be in that band for 3 decades now?
Very tired. um, it's been a lot of fun, and fun was the reason I started it, just to have fun, and I didn't believe that it would last this long. I thought we would do one or two fun shows and then it would be over. But here we are. Many years later, many shows later, many artists later. We're still doing it. And yeah, it's the work is hard, but the fun is great.
Thank you.
Ok.
Pushing down on me, pushing down on you, no matter what. The pressure that moves up to me now, is pushing for me too. But people on the streets, it's a terror of knowing what this world is about. Watching some good friends screaming, it's hard, gets me high.
Yeah.
Come hai scoperto la musica e quali sono le tue ispirazioni?
So let's talk about you, Spike. How did you discover music when you was younger, or, and what was your inspiration in music?
Well, I heard music on the radio. My mum and dad were very young. They were only in their early 20s when they had me. And I was born in 1951. And 1956, by 55, 56, rock and roll came along. Elvis Presley, Little Richard. My mum and dad loved that. And so the house was always filled with rock and roll at that time. And they would dance in the kitchen. They would jive. And when I became old enough, the first thing I learned to do was to put a record on and put the arm on the record on vinyl. And I couldn't read, but I could look at the label on the vinyl and I knew what the song was and what the artist was. And so my mum would say, Little Richard, play Little Richard. So I'd choose the record, put it on and play it. And they would dance and that would make me very happy. So that was the inspiration.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ok, Spike. Allora, torniamo all'inizio della tua carriera, no? Della tua lunga amicizia con i Queen. Come è iniziata la tua collaborazione con la band?
So let's talk about now your great friendship with Queen and your work with Queen. How did the collaboration start?
By chance, it was a happy mistake. Well, it wasn't a mistake. It was just a lucky chance. There was a guy who worked for Roger Taylor for many years called Chris Taylor, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And he was Roger's drum roadie for a few years, and then he became Roger's assistant.
Yeah.
And I knew Crystal many years before that when he worked for Jamie Moses. Now, Jamie Moses is my guitarist in the SAS band. I have known Jamie Moses for 50 years, since 1974. And in 1974, Crystal was the lighting engineer for Jamie's band. The band was called Merlin. And they were touring, trying to break. They had a single, they were trying to break into the charts. And we played shows together in 74 and early 75. And then we lost touch. And then one night I was playing piano in a bar in London in 1984, 10 years later. Mm-hmm. And Crystal walked in and said to me, hey, how you doing? What's happening? And I said, oh, I'm just playing the piano here. He said, oh, I know a band who might need a keyboard player. Do you want the job? And I said, yeah. And who is it? He said, I'll let you know. And then it all happened.
So happened.
Vabbè.
It was a lucky moment in history.
Yeah.
Assolutamente.
Okay.
Allora, Spike, con la band hai lavorato per anni, tantissimi tour. Come musicista, cosa hai cercato di trasmettere durante le tue esibizioni?
So you worked with Queen for many years and many tours, no? And as a musician, what do you put in the Queen music, in the concert or live? How do you live the live experience with Queen?
How do I?
How do you
What
live?
was the word? How do I live?
Yeah,
Or leave?
live.
I'm not sure I understand.
What do you feel when you play with Queen? So for that.
Oh, okay, but no, the playing with Queen is unlike anything else because the power. In the early days, when it was just the four of them and me, I felt very, very privileged to be there and to witness it on stage up close and to see the magic between the four of them, their own unique connection. And I was just, on the edge to try not to make mistakes. And it was eye-opening and way higher in intensity and in the experience than anything I had done before. But everything I had done before was a step closer and closer. So for me, I had to raise my consciousness and my thoughts and my focus to try and match theirs because they are all extremely talented people. Brian is one of the world's greatest guitar players ever. Roger Taylor, one of the world's greatest drummers. Freddie is probably definitely the best vocalist, frontman in a rock band. And John Deacon is an extraordinary musician, bass player, but he's also a brilliant writer. So they all have unique talents. And the combination of all four of them is magic.
Thank you, Marcello.
Ok, Spike, quali sono i momenti più belli che hai passato, che porti con te, che hai vissuto insieme a Freddie, Brian, John e Roger?
Can you remember us your best moments with Freddie, Brian, and Roger and John? One of the best moments that you live with them.
Well, there's been very many, and I will list them all in my book.
Now we arrived.
But obviously, looking back, I mean, the very first show was very exciting for me, and I was glad not to make too many mistakes. And I suppose I have to say it's Live Aid, because I was there at Live Aid, and because I helped Bob Geldof. Bob Geldof was a friend of mine. I played in the Boomtown Rats, and he asked me to ask them if they would play at Live Aid. And so I did ask them, and they said, yes, we're interested. And so I called Bob Geldof, and he called them, or he called the manager, Jim Beach, to say, will they come and play? And obviously they did. So I'm very proud of that connection. And now Live Aid has become something huge, something big, you know, the best gig ever, Queen were the best ever, this massive thing. But on the day, it wasn't. On the day, it was just a show that everybody played and everybody had fun. But I was very proud of the 20 minutes we did, of the way we put all the songs together. So we got, as we say, we got more bang for our buck. You know, other people just played one or two songs. We played, what was it, 5 or 6, I don't know, with a condensed medley. And I think that, to me, was just common sense. You know, it wasn't genius. It was the obvious thing to do. But I was very pleased how no lights, it was daylight, no production, just the 5 of us playing the songs, and Freddie's wonderful connection to the crowd. It created a moment, an important moment. I'm proud of that.
Thank you.
Allora, infatti, la prossima domanda, Spike, si collega proprio alla Raid. E ti voglio chiedere se in quel momento hai avuto la sensazione che l'esibizione dei Queen sarebbe rimasta nella storia.
In fact, the next question is about Live Aid. Now, you know, some people say it again in Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, you know, but on stage, did you have the feeling that the Queen performance will remain in history or not?
Sorry, will remain what? The performance will what? I lost you. Say it again.
So, did you have the feeling that they remain in history, or is just a gig?
No, absolutely not. No, it just seemed like a regular performance. It wasn't a regular, you know, it's a very short set. We just thought we did a good job. Well, no, we did an excellent job on the day, but we didn't think, well, this is my impression. Maybe
Okay.
Brian and Roger books give you a different answer, but it felt to me that we had done, completed the task. There were no problems. There were no mistakes. I felt that we had done a good day's work. There was no consideration of history. We were just part of the whole day. I thought the whole day was history, but I didn't expect that Queen's performance would become so big. You know, there was no way to expect that.
All right.
Allora, Spike, con i Queen sei stato protagonista anche sul fronte solista. Che ricordi hai dei Cross di Roger?
You were a member also on a solo project about we can remember the Cross with the Roger. What is your memories about that experience?
Well, I personally loved the Cross. I loved the guys. We had a great chemistry, and I thought the records that we made, I thought they were great. I mean, I played some tracks the other day Hadn't heard
Yeah.
them for a long, long time. I played Dirty Mind, and I
Yeah,
was thinking, this is good. This is pretty good.
that's cool.
And so I think it's a real shame that the Cross were only loved by a small number of people. And I think that the music press hated Roger having a second band. I think they resented that. That's my feeling. And I think we made the first album is more Roger, without only because we were putting the band together during Shove It. Roger had recorded most of it, but the second album, Mad Bad Dangerous to Know, and Blue Rock, I think are great records, and I enjoy them. And I still get fan mail from people saying, "Put the Cross back together, come on tour," but it's not going to happen. Sorry.
So I'm a Cross fan, also, and I want to ask
Great.
you.
Oh, great.
And there are many people that say, "Please reform the Cross."
Sì.
All the time. Yeah. I know. The thing is, I think Roger gave all his energy for the first time around. I don't think he would give it again. So,
Okay.
it's no, it's. I mean, we did the reunion a few years ago, and that was great. Whether we can do another reunion, I don't know. Maybe. We never say never. But
Never
at the
say
moment,
never.
there are no plans. So,
Okay.
never say never.
Ok.
Thank you very much.
Spike, con la Brea Bay Band, che esperienza è stata?
What about be in a Brian May band also?
Well, the Brian May Band was a lot of fun, actually, and of course it introduced me properly to Cozy Powell and Neil Murray and Chris Thompson, all of whom became the original members of the SAS band.
Yeah.
They all appeared on the very first gig, and Chris Thompson was with us for most of the 30 years, played nearly every show, sang nearly every show, and Cozy was with us a lot until we lost him, and Neil Murray comes in and out, so that was great, and we had fun, and it was a good band, and of course Jamie Moses joined up with that, because I reconnected with Jamie Moses when I was working with Bob Geldof on his solo tour.
Yeah.
And when Brian, we had a guitarist, Mike Haswell, to start off with, and then he couldn't do it. And so Brian said, "Do you know any guitar players?" And I said, "Try this guy, Jamie Moses." And it was great to have him on board because he's one of my best friends ever. So, and then Cozy and Neil became really close, and we did 2 world tours. So that was a great experience for me. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
And it was the springboard for the SAS band, because I built the SAS band around those guys that were in Brian's band,
Yeah.
Ok, Spike. Allora, questa è una domanda un po' particolare, Spike. Allora, puoi parlarci di Freddy, dell'ultima volta che vi siete visti? È un tuo ricordo personale, se puoi.
Can you talk about Freddie? If you remember the last time that you saw him, and you remember in your memories of him.
Well, the thing was, I am a little bit sort of what is the word? I'm not quite sure when was the last time I saw him. I know that I saw him at his famous 40th birthday party in Ibiza, and I may have seen him 1 or 2 times after that, but he was still fairly healthy and active when I saw him. So when he became ill, I didn't see him at all, because it wasn't my place to go to his house or go visit. I knew he was unwell, but I didn't know how or why he was unwell, because that was a personal, private thing, and he didn't announce how he was unwell until the very end. But my memories of him were at the fact that he was great fun in a small group. When he was with people that he trusted, he really enjoyed himself. When he was in a large group of people, he was very guarded because people would try to get close to him or take advantage. He was always very kind to me. And even at the very beginning, when it came to Crazy Little Thing Called Love, I was playing the piano part on a small synthesizer keyboard.
Mhm.
Sounded horrible. And he said, come down and play my piano, which I thought was a wonderful gesture on his part. And so for the Works tour and for the Magic tour, I would always come down and play the piano, and sometimes he would come over and he'd mess around and he'd play with it. And like I say, he never gave me a hard time about anything. He was always very generous, and I got invited to his house several times. And he was actually, I think he liked my girlfriend more than he liked me. He thought she was funny. So I used to get invited over there as long as I took her with me. No, I only have happy memories of Fred. And I only have good things to say about him. And I know he could be a rock star and difficult, but that was because people used to take advantage and you know, crowd him and try to get close to him all the time. But when he was relaxed, he was marvelous fun.
Thank you.
Ok, grazie. Allora, fai parte del progetto Qui in Più. Quali progetti ci sono per il futuro? Quali ci saranno più avanti?
So now you are a part of the project Queen and Adam Lambert. So what's your feeling about to be on stage and
Yeah.
now remember Freddie every night? And we want to ask you, if it's possible, if there are any plans for the future.
There are no plans for the future at the moment. Absolutely nothing. I was with Roger on Saturday night, obviously, and we had a chat. And he said the diary is empty, which means we have to wait. Adam Lambert has been a revelation because he has introduced us to a whole new audience, and so it's a remarkable thing that Queen has now just crossed all the generations and all the decades, and they are as popular, maybe even more popular now than they were back in the 70s and 80s. You know, their reputation and their legend has grown. And Adam has come along and he has done something very, very difficult but important. He manages to sing the songs and make them his own, but he does not try to steal any of Freddie's thunder. He is respectful to Freddie, and it is a balance. He manages to keep that fine balance, and I think people have responded well to that. In the early days, there may be people saying, "Oh, it's not Freddie. It can't be Queen without Freddie." But once you have been to a concert with Adam Lambert, I think it's just a question of it is progress. We are moving on. It's a different time and it's a different singer, but it's still Queen, and it's still a fabulous show. Probably the best shows in the world. Still, you know. So I am so glad that my wife discovered him on TV. My wife found him on TV and said, "You need to watch this guy." And I said, "I don't care." And then I watched him and I thought, "Oh, maybe I do care." And very quickly, the wheels turned and he sang with us, and it was obvious from the word go that he was a natural. And you can't say that he replaces Freddie. He is another great singer singing the wonderful Queen songs, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a favor to ask you two. There is approximately 6 or 7 hours left for the live stream. I'm trying to get it extended, but maybe I won't. Can you tell everybody in the Queen fan club in Italy
Yeah.
that the gig is fantastic on Saturday night, and they can go on and watch the live stream now for 6 hours? They can get on and watch it, and to please do that.
Yeah. I was there, and it was a fantastic night. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, have you seen the live stream since you got home?
When I
Have
was
you
home,
watched it?
No. I was
Well,
there.
what? I know, but you should watch it. Everybody's saying I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it in a minute. I've been told that Roger and Justin are absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
and so whatever you saw, that's going to be close up, much better and much deeper. So I'd like you to tell everybody.
We have
the Queen fan club.
Yes. It was
You
very
will
nice to see Tyler on the guitar. It was very good.
Yes, I know. And you should tell them all about this, that what was special about it. And there was Neil Fairclough as well, and Rufus,
Yeah.
and all these unusual things that came together at the last, surprise. So please do that, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, great.
Ok, Spike,
Last
ultima
question.
domanda. L'ultima domanda, raccontaci un po' del libro che uscirà a breve, dacci se poi qualche anticipazione.
Okay, the last question, but not less important. Can you tell about your book? So in Guildford, you spoke about your book. Two books, and
Two books, yeah.
two books, and
Yeah,
so what can you can do some previews for us?
Okay, there are two books because I kept writing stories over years, and then when I counted up, my book is too big to publish. It's bigger than Barbara Streisand's, and fortunately, right in the middle is where, when I was 33 years old, I joined Queen, but there was a lot happened before that. So what I've done is I've broken it into two. So the first half is the early years, the road to Queen, and then the second book will be the Queen stories, and that's called, at the moment, the title is called Queen and Beyond. That may change. The Queen and Beyond side, I've still got 3 or 4 more stories to write, but they are big stories, and I'm going to write them in January after Christmas. And then both volumes will be finished. And then I have to put them into the lawyers to make sure there is nothing there that will get me into trouble. I'm hoping there's not. I don't think there is, because it's not that kind of book. The book is about me and the fun I had and the experience I had traveling the world, and how then I went on to the second book is about Queen at first, and then Brian and the Cross, and then the SAS band, and then working the Mandela shows, and loads of stories of how things went from one to the other to the other. So it's going to be an interesting. So when I've finished the second volume, I will have to think maybe volume 2 will be published first. Maybe, I don't know. At the moment, volume 1 is the closest to being ready.
All right.
And I have the photographs, and I've written all the stories. I need just to get it edited. And then, so in January, February, I will have to make a decision which is going to come first, the early years or the Queen years, and we will see.
Well, we have to attempt in the 25.
25, yeah.
25.
In 25, yeah. Spring. One volume will come out in spring. I don't know if it's volume 1 or volume 2. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Spring release. Right.
Okay, spring release, yeah.
Ok,
Thank you very much.
grazie veramente per questa bellissima occasione che ci hai dato. Siamo senza parole noi e ti ringraziamo tantissimo, veramente.
Bye. Thank you once again to come with us to have a chat. And we hope to see you soon, very soon, maybe in Italy.
Yeah, well, it could happen. It could happen.
Ok, Spike, grazie mille. Grazie.
Thank you once again. All the best, mate.
Thank
Grazie.
you. Thank you. Take
Thank
Thank
care.
you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Ciao, Spike. Ciao.
Ciao.